Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. So today we're dealing with a very frustrating situation where a few days ago, a VTuber made a list of their peers that they are claiming are transphobes. Now, of course, this list contains a lot of outrageous claims, and it also contains names that don't belong there, including Silvervale. Now, if you're familiar with what happened to her in 2023, you're probably getting some deja vu because she is once again being falsely labeled a transphobe. Now, what happened in 2023? Well, of course, we had the Hogwarts Legacy harassment campaign. Now, I have spent literally hundreds of hours talking about that harassment campaign on this channel. And before we get into the current transphobe list that this VTuber has made, let me either remind you or inform you about this harassment campaign. So Hogwarts Legacy releases in February of 2023, and a lot of people made the assumption that if you bought this game, you were a transphobe because they saw this title, which is of course a Harry Potter IP, which belongs to J.K. Rowling, and people on Twitter believe that she is transphobic, so they believe that buying this game eventually, through a million different steps, ends up killing trans people. That's how outrageous the claims were. And people were saying this as soon as the game released. They were saying that buying this automatically makes you a transphobe and that you don't support trans people or gay people or Jewish people and all kinds of other people they believe that are being targeted supposedly through the purchase of this game. And we saw even search engines being made by people on the day of this game's release, so you could search up streamers to see if they're playing this game. And of course, this was used as a harassment campaign and a tool for people to search up these streamers and to harass them in their chat. We immediately saw some female streamers like this getting bullied by people. This streamer in particular was not only streaming Hogwarts Legacy, they were also simultaneously running a charity event for LGBT youth. But despite that, because they're playing this game, they were harassed by dozens to the point of crying on stream. Shortly after, we saw Pikami suggest that she might play Hogwarts Legacy, and then she was blasted with hundreds of messages accusing her of being a transphobe, among other things. We also saw Pippa get harassed and slandered by a bunch of people who were claiming that her streaming of this game was literally getting trans people murdered. We also saw Silvervale, of course, and the reason we talk a lot about Silvervale is not only because she's on this list we're talking about today, but she's also arguably the most documented victim of this harassment campaign, where she goes on stream and talks directly about what's happening to her and her reaction. We see this happen through multiple clips that we're going to once again revisit today. So here we are. This is the recently released supposedly transphobic VTuber list. This VTuber saying, here's my sadly ever-changing list of transphobic VTubers to avoid. And of course, the replies are now locked on this tweet, so you can't even argue with the points that they're trying to make. Now let's go to the beginning of this document that has been changed many times, by the way. So it says this: a list of those that maybe are good to avoid or not, it's your choice. Note this is from personal experience / others VTubers experiences. I'm taking the screenshots I've seen and the personal stories I've heard to heart. And down here it says, guess I should once again mention this isn't to harass others, but to ignore. That's the point of this, which is absolutely outrageous to claim that you're not harassing others or trying to cancel others with this list. You are publicly calling these people transphobes. What do you think's gonna happen to them? Negative things. That's exactly what happened with the Hogwarts Legacy harassment campaign. People got labeled as transphobes for playing that game, and then they got harassed by people who believed that they were transphobes. That's exactly what's happening with this list. What do you think's gonna happen to people put on this list? It's very obvious. But going down at one point under the list of transphobic VTubers, we see Silvervale with a big section here saying, used crocodile tears when addressing Hogwarts Legacy transphobic situation, which led to many trans VTubers being swarmed with hate raids, banned the word trans in her chat for a month or so. The whole situation behind Silvervale is very odd. Her community activity verbally harassed trans people, and she enabled it. And they have this right here as proof, and then also they claim that she started the trans people are Twitter freaks and apparently called them cockroaches. So looking at this section of claims here, every single one of them is either completely made up or easily disprovable through the most tiny amount of research on this situation. So let's go back in time. It's February of 2023. Silvervale has done a couple of Hogwarts Legacy streams on Twitch and hasn't really received a lot of backlash quite yet. However, things are starting to pick up with this harassment campaign, and then there's this claim right here where she banned the word trans in her chat. This is an outright lie, by the way, and it is eerily mirrored by these tweets from February of last year where other VTubers were falsely claiming that she was banning the word trans from her chat. Now, this is something that's not only a false claim, it is something she directly addressed at the time, and people intentionally ignored this. In this statement on her Discord server, which would be spread around on Twitter, she would further elaborate what happened here, that this word wasn't banned as her choice or her mod's choice. This was a feature of Twitch's own system, where they automatically hold for review some words like trans, for example, because oftentimes when people are bringing up trans, especially in a stream that has nothing to do with it, there's a chance that someone's being harassed, that they're using the word trans to harass the streamer. It's to protect the streamer and the viewers from transphobia, actually. And in this case, ironically, people were going in and doing something different where they were spamming things like trans rights in her chat to show some sort of a message to her, or they were saying you hate trans people. So in that way, it was getting held for review, but the system was there already. And that's what happened, but people didn't care. They falsely accused her of banning the word trans because in their eyes, she must be transphobic. And it was around that time that the harassment campaign against her really started to ramp up, where she would then, in an emotional statement, address this on stream.
And harassment and doxing and people doxing my friends and like so much horrible, vile things, all from streaming a fucking video game. It's just insane. Like, hate breeds hate and it doesn't help anyone. And I don't know, I got to the point where I was sick of seeing hatred all over and guilt tripping on random art tweets. It's literally like they gang up on so many random tweets about Valentine's Day or art or automated posts. Like they wanna post so much negativity everywhere, and I just got sick of it. So I block people because I just wanted breathing room.
Obviously, you can tell from the clip that she was very upset about the situation and very upset not only about the harassment that she, her family, and friends were facing, she was also upset about these claims that she is transphobic, among other things, okay? It obviously upset her, but people were not buying it. By people, I mean many VTubers in the scene. They were mocking this situation, saying that she's still a transphobe. Some people saying that she is attacking Jewish people, that it doesn't matter, she's not getting bullied, that it's backlash, and she's only being criticized, and that they don't care about this situation. In fact, we even saw viral tweets here claiming that she was using her tears to manipulate her viewers. People saying that she was literally weaponizing her cis woman tears. Yes, these are the progressive people attacking a woman for crying after being harassed on a mass scale. Now, instead of laying down and continuing to take this harassment, about a day later, Silvervale once again addressed the situation on stream, and we would get one of the most iconic clips that we've ever seen in any VTuber-related situation covered on this channel, where she would fight back and put her foot down, say that she wasn't going to take this harassment, and then she would dub the people harassing her over playing this game the now infamous phrase, Twitter freaks.
And to all of the cockroach V-tweeters crawling out from under the floorboards, climbing onto the hate train and making fun of a girl crying after being harassed incessantly for your crumb of clout, fuck you. That's all I had to say.
and we're gonna enjoy this fucking game. And I will not be bullied by a bunch of Twitter freaks with nothing better to do with their goddamn lives. Be nice to people. If you want to make changes, go make actual changes instead of harassing streamers on the internet. LGBT people are awesome. Twitter people are not awesome. Fuck you. Wizard game!
So going back to the original document and the person making this transphobic VTuber list, you can see they would once again make another false claim saying she never told her community to stop harassing people, to not use Twitter freaks against trans people. She didn't speak out against any of it. The tears were fake. She didn't and doesn't care about trans people. It's a veil. A silver veil. Wow. They really were proud of themselves for that one. But once again, instantly disprovable with this screenshot from her Discord from February 17th of 2023, where she directly addresses this and says, please don't spread hate towards anyone, and that she loves and appreciates everyone, and encourages people to basically focus on their own community and not to go out and harass people. And you can see the number of reactions, almost 3,000 reactions on a Discord message. That's a lot of people in her community seeing this post and agreeing with its message. But of course, the person who made this transphobic VTuber list doesn't care about evidence like this. In fact, this direct screenshot was brought to their attention and they dismissed it. That's right, they actually dismissed it. They even wrote notes here about why everything is wrong. So she once again claims that Silvervale was fake crying to rile up her community, and that her side of only semi-discussing the author and spending the majority of the time shit-talking Twitter freaks, a term that refers/has been co-opted to talk about trans people. Another false claim. Again, Twitter freak was only made to address people who are harassing others for playing a video game. That's all it's ever meant. If you think it means anything more than that, you are making that up. But down here they also say talking about not spreading hate, but the community continues to do it and she doesn't say anything or care. I mean, she's literally saying it right here. It's right here. I mean, once again, and then down here, oh my God, says LGBT when just trans people are being harassed. What are you talking about? Also, there were people accusing her of being homophobic or anti-Semitic for playing this game as well. And when you say LGBT, that includes trans people. I think you're getting a bit ridiculous when you're saying it was inappropriate of her to use LGBT to address people that you should respect and not harass. That's absolutely outrageous. I was saying with this document that there was a lot of unfounded claims because there wasn't research. I guess it doesn't even matter if they did research, because even when they're presented with evidence that shows that their claims that Silvervale is transphobic is wrong, they just dismiss it with their own headcanon, basically. Now, of course, a lot of people are aware of the Hogwarts Legacy harassment campaign, and they're aware of what happened to people like Silvervale, and that's reflected in the comments which eventually would be turned off on this original tweet sharing the Google Doc. And you can see people basically saying, thanks for the recommendation. I'm going to go follow these people that you're listing. And also, I wouldn't be surprised if I end up on there now because I had the nerve to question these ridiculous claims against people like Silvervale. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Here we are in the year 2024, and we're still talking about Hogwarts Legacy because of people like this. Everyone said this game would be irrelevant in a month. Well, here we are a year later and still talking about it because people can't let the harassment campaign go, and they're still trying to harass people involved in this situation who simply played a video game. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comments section down below, and I'll see you guys next time.